Alright guys, so here it is, the first of the AliExpress pieces I picked up during the sale has arrived. Only took about a week, and also this one turned up as well. So I'm going to be doing a review of this soon, but just going to test that out first before I dive right in. Pardon the pun, but getting back to the case. So they have a few different sizes of this one. This one I've got here is the 24 slot, but if you're not keen on this, you want something a bit smaller, or you want something with a display window on the front, I think they do a 12, that's a display window, but I'll leave the link down in the description as always, so you can check them all out. So when it comes to the build of this, it's actually an aluminium alloy. Not entirely sure what exactly, but it seems sturdy enough. So you can see it also comes with a couple of keys as well, so you can actually lock this. They're fairly simple, not going to be the most secure, but it's a nice little thing to have. So to quickly show you a bit more close up what this is actually like. It is actually full of watches at the moment, so it is a little bit heavy, but still fairly manageable, and as I say, pretty sturdy as well, despite it being an aluminium alloy. You can see there we've got the bits where you can lock it along with the handle, but even when it's not locked it's still pretty secure because these clip down fairly tightly. Quickly show you the bottom now. We've actually got some little rubber feet on the bottom, so when it's on a desk or something it's not going to scratch it. Flicking around to the back, you can see we've got some pretty nice hinges, metal ones, and then some more stoppers on the bottom, stop it scraping on the floor, etc. So as I say, really nicely made, all metal. Well, the outside at least. I'll pop some dimensions up on screen so you can see what they're like as well. But now let's open this up and show you what it's like. So unlock it first. As I said before, they're only cheap basic keys, so not the best, but they did the job. And open up the other side. And there we go. So now let's pop it open. Light it flat first. And there we are. So as I said, I have already filled it with watches, all the ones I didn't have space for in all my other watch boxes and cases and bits and pieces. So first thing you'll probably notice when I open this up is this hinge. It is a really nice metal hinge, nice and secure. Not a flimsy one. Does work well. Would have been nice to see them on both sides, but again, given the price of it, it's forgivable, and as I say, it works just fine with the one. So I am actually looking to sell quite a few of the watches I've got in here at the moment. So if you are interested in any of these, do drop me an email or a message on Instagram or something, and then we can try and sort something out. I do actually have a website where I sell them, but I haven't had a chance to add all these yet. Link down in the description for that, because I've actually got a few others on there if you want to check those out now. So with this full, this is actually 24 slot as I mentioned earlier. But as you can see, I've actually had to stagger them to get them to fit in properly, because obviously depending on the size of the watch, it can be a little bit close. But if you want to lay it out differently, you can also put some watches and straps and pieces in the top here. But obviously if you do that, you'll have to remove the ones from the bottom to leave space. So I'll quickly show you what that looks like. Get a quick zoom in, and as you can see, so you get quite a few in across the top there, either watches on straps or also just straps on their own. But as I say, you will have to remove some of the pieces in the bottom, so when it closes over they're not going to be hitting each other. But it is quite versatile, you can mix and match how you want to have it. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, this was actually packed really nicely when it came. So it came in this really big like bubble wrap, double layer of that, so it doesn't get damaged at all during transit, because you don't want to get it and then it'd be damaged when it arrives. So as I said, I've got these staggered because quite a few of these watches are quite big, so when they're next to each other they can tend to hit each other if you don't stagger them, as you can see with some of these larger ones closer together. Obviously if you've got smaller ones it won't be as big an issue, but this is just the way I'm doing it at the moment. Seems to work well. So let's take one of these out and show you what it's like. So you can see it's a fairly basic holder, but it does the job. So I'll open this up and show you in a bit more detail. Pop the watch to one side, and there it is in a bit more detail. So when it comes to the dimensions on this, I'll pop that on screen as well. You can see it's pretty flexible, so it will conform to pretty much any watch size, which is handy. And it's slightly felt kind of feel in as well, so it won't damage the watch, scratch it or anything. So I'll pop this back in and I'll show you what it's like when you put them actually next to each other and don't stagger them. So you can see, even with a fairly smaller watch, the gap is a little on the tight side. So as I said, I just find it better just to stagger them, just so that isn't an issue and they're not going to be knocking against each other. But it depends on the watches you've got next to each other. You can always move them around and it might not be an issue. Or another option, you can actually just take a couple out either side maybe, do it like that. So take out this one for example, and then this one, so I've gap either side, but obviously you're not going to have as many spaces available then. But doing it like that, you might be able to utilise the ones on the top a bit more. So again, as I say, it's flexible with the way you want to do it, you can mix and match. So I'll quickly show you in a bit more detail now how robust this hinge is. So I'll close it down partly, you can see it's still holding really nice and tight. No issues at all there. It's only when you get to a certain point, it will slowly just close then. And then obviously we just close it up with those little lock bits. And then once we have got it closed, I'll quickly flick it around so you can see what it's like, see where the stuff moves around inside. Give it a little bit of a shake. Don't worry, that rattling you can hear there is just the handle, it's not the watches inside. And then let's open it back up now, see if anything's moved around. And as you can see, everything's still just fine, no issues at all. So once it's closed, it's nice and secure. A couple of them might be a touch light depending on what kind of size watch you've got in there and what kind of thickness of straps, etc. But on the whole, it's pretty secure. And when you do close it over, that lining on the inside at the top is like a felt kind of finish as well. Same as the inside of the bottom and also on the bits that hold the watch. So it's not going to scratch it or anything when it is closed over. But there is a fairly big gap between the two as well. So it's probably not even going to touch that much, apart from on the larger watches. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Definitely does the job I need. Looks pretty good too as well. And for the price I paid, you can't really complain too much at all. Yeah, there's a couple of little things I would have changed, like it would have been nice to have a tiny bit more space between them, but other than that, as I said earlier as well, I'm going to be reviewing this piece pretty soon too, just testing it out fully before I do that. But first impressions, I'm really liking it. So if you're interested in picking one of these up, link will be down in the description as always, but that's it for this one guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.